push out on this left here, because that guy's going to spawn in fucking invisible next to my ass. Bro, build OP. Fucking days, bro. Somebody clip that for me, please. Oh my God. What are these boys using? One and two and three and four. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. My bad, guys. My bad. Nah, I'm just playing. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's MrSoSerious, and I'm back with another build video. I know it's been a while since I did my AR video in World Tier 4, I think it was. But I haven't had any builds finished. In fact, I still don't have any builds finished. I don't have any of the builds exactly where I want them. And I don't really want to put build videos out if they're not exactly how I want them. But the RNG I'm getting is fucking terrible. So what I think I'm going to do is, when I've got builds into a place where they're good, they might not be finished to the way that I want them, but they're good and they work, I'll make the video. I'll explain how I want to make changes and improve on the build. And then what I'll do is, when I do get the build into the place that I want it, I'll make a new video on the updated build kind of thing. I think I'm just going to do it that way, because the way my RNG is going at the moment, if I don't start doing that, I'm never going to be getting build videos out at this rate. I swear, it's ridiculous how much RNG is just killing me right now, man. I apologise if my voice sounds a little bit rough. I've not been awake that long, so my voice is probably still trying to warm up, but hey, I don't care. It is what it is, and I think I'm coming down with a cold as well, which doesn't help, so yeah. Alright, anyway, so this is what I'm running. This is my kind of LMG high damage hybrid build, I guess you could say, right? So, I mean, as you can see, I've got just short of 2.9k skill power. I reckon if I can get some right rolls, maybe some better gear mods, I can probably push that skill power to about 3,000. Because the idea is, I want to be doing a lot of damage, but I want to kind of provide myself with good heals, maybe a strong skill. Essentially something to help me out in solo play, right? So that's kind of what I'm going for with this. So as you can see, I've got the M60 and the Lullaby. The Lullaby is just the level 1 Lullaby. I don't use it. It's literally for the talent where you roll and you evasive. While equipped, dodging reloads 25% of your current magazine. So, you know, if you need to reload, just roll a few times and your mag's full. You don't actually have to reload, so you can kind of dodge around and reload. And it's going to improve your survivability, and it's going to get you back into the fights quicker. Because if you don't need a full 100 bullets, you only need maybe 25, just do a quick roll. You got your 25 bullets, you should be able to end that fight. So that's why I'm running the Lullaby. The gameplay, I know I didn't have it equipped at the time. Somebody, because I never paid attention to the Lullaby. With it being a level 1, I didn't pay attention, because I'm like, it's just like the first game. You're gonna get given these exotics for pre-ordering, and they're going to be useless after about 3 hours game time. So I just left it in my thing, and I didn't pay any attention to it whatsoever. And somebody in my stream last night, after the clips you just seen, mentioned it to me. So I decided to equip it, and I quickly saw the advantages to using it. So that's why that's there. Use it. It's very, very helpful, especially on an LMG build. So yeah, if you aren't using it and you want to use an LMG build, stick it on. That's the way to use it. So I'm running an M60. I currently have Strained on there. Now I want to change Strained to Unhinged. That that will give me, I believe, 25% extra weapon damage at the cost of weapon handling. The weapon handling's fine. I don't mind that. I can make that up in other ways. And of course, I have Allegro on there. And the last talent is Wascali. I really don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not going to pretend like I do. So yeah. While holstered, you are able to resist one ensnare effect when you do you remain. I don't care about the last talent. I'm using the SMG, so it's not holstered. So the last talent is honestly completely irrelevant. So yeah. Right. So as you can see, I'm using a stability mod. In fact, did I not get another one that I could use there? Yeah, we got that one. So we lose a bit of accuracy, but we now have plus 15% stability instead. So yeah, we have more stability there now. Then I have the rate of fire mod on the magazine, and angled grip for plus 10% stability on the underbarrel. I have a Providence Defense mask. I'm running a 2-piece. Now you can run 5-piece if you want, but like I said, I'm trying to go for more of a hybrid build, so I'm trying to kind of balance things out as much. I'm trying to balance things between weapon damage, my armor health, and my skill power. So it's kind of trying to balance it out, but still be able to destroy people at the same time. So yeah. So like I said, I've got Providence Defense Mask. We have 7% cooldown reduction and 304 skill power on there. And as you can see, I have the Empowered talent, which gives me plus 10% skill power. We have the Alps Summit Armament Vest. Now I need to improve this. As you can see, it's only a gear score 454, but it's the best one that I have for the build I have right now. And there's a crit chance roll on there. Now one of two things I can do with this crit chance roll. I can either look to completely get rid of it and maybe have armor in place of it, or just not have it there altogether and just have skill power, which would probably give me a much bigger skill power roll. Or I can get weapon damage. And then we have Unbreakable on there. Now, if I could get one that maybe had a second talent underneath, I don't know if you can or not. I'm probably thinking wrong. I'm still getting used to how a lot of this gear works. It confuses me at times. But you know, if you can get another talent underneath where Unbreakable is, get Hardened as well. That'd be nice. But again, I don't know. It confuses me as to what you can have what on. I'm still kind of getting my head around all these things, because I haven't had much time to put in as much time as I'd wanted to be fair, so yeah. And then, as you can see, I have a utility mod slot and 2 defensive mod slots. So one of them I'm using gives me 119 skill power. The other 2 attributes on that mod are kind of irrelevant, but it was the one that gave me the most skill power that I have available for that slot, so that's what I used. My first defensive slot gives me 3,700 health, 369 armor regeneration, and 8% health regen. And my second defensive slot gives me just over 3,000 bonus armor, plus 3% of my total armor, and 304 armor per second regeneration. And onto the holster, we have a D&H holster. Now, I'm not necessarily looking to use D&H, so you can swap this out for something else if you want. I mean, it gives me the accuracy, and that's cool. But that's not what I'm actually using it for. I'm using it because it has the best skill power roll on all my gear pieces pretty much, and it has Devastating on there, which gives me plus 5% weapon damage. So on the holster, you want skill power and you want Devastating. That's it. You don't need anything else. You want to try and limit the amount of offensive rolls you have, because you need to stay below a certain amount to achieve talents, and you want to make sure that you have less than 20% crit chance, because I want to use compensated on this build as well. So you know, you've got to kind of make compromises and whatever else to get that damage. You're not going to need the offensive slots, because compensated is going to make up your weapon damage. So that's kind of where I'm headed with this. And then again, a utility slot gives me 141 skill power. The knee pads are Providence Defense. They come with skill power on there, and they have skill haste as well. You can roll the skill haste off if you want and go with something else, but it helps with the cooldown, so that's what I went with. And I have a offensive mod slot on there, and I put a 2% weapon damage mod with 2% optimal range and 1% headshot damage. The gloves that I'm currently using, again, these are the best gloves I have for this job. They got plus 10% LMG damage, which is exactly what I wanted. And then I have plus 5% weapon damage because of devastating. But like I say, that's not what I want. What I actually want is this talent here. So I want to, which is why I'm saying I wouldn't mind losing maybe a mod slot, an offensive mod slot, and a offensive attribute. So like the 11.5% crit chance that's on my, I think it's my vest. That can just go, in all honesty. Give me armor instead. Because then that'll put me down to 4. If we have an offensive mod slot that changes to, let's say, defensive or utility, then we're on 3 and we've got compensated. Weapon damage is increased by 15% when your critical chance is below 20. I am way below 20% because I'm focusing on raw weapon damage. Take advantage of that damage to targets out of cover. So that's what I'm going for. So if I get unhinged and compensated onto this LMG, bro, it's night time for everybody that I run into. And the backpack is Gilligard, obviously for the toughness. That came rolled with bonus armor on there. I put skill power onto it. It has plus 3% weapon damage, and it comes with on the ropes. Weapon damage is increased by 25% while all skills are on cooldown, and destructive plus 20% explosive damage, which is perfect because obviously I'm using the Seeker Mine, so it increases my explosive damage a little bit. And it came with 2 mod slots for defensive, gives me 3,136 bonus armor. Again, the other 2 attributes aren't really necessary. They were it's just a case of this gave me the best armor for the job out of all the mods that I have, so I just went with it. Ideally, I could maybe get another one that's like 3,000 armor with plus 3% total armor. That'd be beautiful, but for now, this one will do. And then a utility mod slot, which gives me 152 skill power, plus 1% bleed damage, which is fine. I say it's not really important. My grenades can put people on bleed, so I guess that can help there. So yeah. Now, the reason I use the Seeker Mine, I mean, aside from the... Don't use the big Seeker Mine, by the way. There's a heads up, guys, right? Before I get into anything else, use the cluster Seeker Mine. It says 175k damage, right? It does about 15, from my experience, I'm averaging about 20,000, 15 to 20,000 damage on a player every time a Seeker Mine hits them. This one, I get 328,000 damage. It only does 823 damage to players. I tested it with my team last night. I was testing all the different skills out, and the big Seeker Mine that has the most damage by far, like close to double what the cluster does, only does 823 damage. It doesn't even do 1k. So use the cluster. And I have plus 5 extra mines, 28.7% damage, and 21.7% damage. Now, again, you know, if you can get your skill power up and you have the mods available, you can probably push that damage even higher. I don't think I have any more like higher damage. Well, no, I don't. So they're the highest damage ones that I have right now, and I've got plus 5 extra mines. You can change that for like cooldown reduction or something, but I prefer the extra mines. It covers more targets, does more damage. So for me personally, it just works out better. So yeah. Oh, and the chem launcher I'm using, they're both heal mods. As you can see, plus 38.4% heal and plus 27.3% heal. My armor repair is 83,000. Well, again, you saw in the clips how fast that was taking me from almost no armor to full armor in a matter of like 2-3 seconds, and that's from 1 chem heal. If you drop 2, it flies up. It's almost instant heal. So that's kind of why, you know, it gives me the survivability, right? The cooldown on the mine is 65.6 seconds. So, I mean, it could be lower, so you can go cooldown reduction if you want. But yeah, anyway. So, on the ropes, when you drop a Seeker Mine, like especially the cluster one, because the first one you have to target somebody with it first. Whereas if you're in the fight, you drop the cluster Seeker, it goes off, it hits what it needs to hit, and it's on cooldown. So then all you need to do is drop one chem heal on the ground. You don't need to drop all of them. You only need to drop one chem heal. And because your Seeker Mine's on cooldown and you've put that chem heal on cooldown, it activates on the ropes. So there's your 25% extra damage. And again, you see that in the clip. You see the difference between me not having it procced and then when I proc it, and you can see a huge difference in damage. And again, it's all part of this survivability aspect, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be throwing a chem heal on the ground when you need to heal. So you've used your Seeker Mine, you're at low, your armor's almost depleted, you drop a chem heal on the ground, it starts to heal up really fast, and boom, you have plus 25% weapon damage. But also your Seeker Mines hit the player and it's knocked off 15 to 20,000 of their armor. So it's taken a decent chunk out of them, it's caused them to stagger, and you know, you can see where I'm going with this, right? It creates situations that gives you an advantage. It puts them at a disadvantage, it puts you at an advantage, and it kind of gives you opportunities to make plays on people, which this game does kind of lack for the most part. So I've been having a lot of fun with this build, and I reckon once I get the things changed that I want to change, it's going to be so much better than it is, and I feel sorry for anybody that's going to be on the other end of my gun when I'm at that stage, man, I'm telling you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll go through the stats real quick. I'll show you mine as well. So yeah, 28,146 damage at the moment, but like I say, there's unhinged missing, there's compensated missing. But once we get those on, that's going to fly up. I would imagine that's probably going to be closer to 35k. 11.5% crit chance. Again, that's going to be going though. My crit chance there is literally just what is on my vest. I don't want anything to do with crits on the build. I don't care. I want raw weapon damage. So that will be going, which will hopefully give us an armor roll in its place. Ideally, that's what we want, right? Crit damage. The headshot damage is somewhat important because, you know, you're always going to have some kind of headshot damage on there. And, you know, you get rewarded for that. It's more damage. The crit chance, crit damage is irrelevant. Your headshot damage, provided you're hitting the head, is every bullet. So it kind of fits in and ties in with the whole raw damage aspect. So, again, headshot damage not overly important. Reload time is 5.8 seconds. I mean, you can change talents around if you want. Maybe change some mods here and there. Improve the reload speed if that's what you want to do. But again, I use the lullaby. I want to use the lullaby now. So rather than spending 5.8 seconds reloading, I can just roll once, maybe twice, and I've got a quarter or a half of my ammo back minimum. So yeah. Then we have 16.5% all weapon damage, 25% LMG damage, 15% SMG damage, and yeah, and you can see it all there. And that's pretty much it. That's the build I use when I'm in the occupied DZ. I don't play normalized PvP anymore. I did play Conflict at first, but I'm bored of it. It's boring. It's not fun. Normalized DZ is just not fun. Occupied DZ is 50-50, I admit. It can be fun. It can be annoying. But I'm trying my best to enjoy the game, and I'm trying my best to make the most of it. And honestly, since I made this build, I've actually had quite a lot of fun with it. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot of fun using this build. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you use something similar? Are you doing an LMG build differently? Are you going straight damage? Are you going tank? Are you know, what are you doing? Let me know. You guys know me. I like to hear what you guys are doing, as well as obviously what you think of my build. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you're using. All that good stuff. And yeah, you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.